Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, I'm going to be showing you another of the top 8 decks from the Champions League Tokyo this past weekend over in Japan. You see, a lot of people have been very, very high on the new Alolan Ninetales. Now, I am not referring to the water Alolan Ninetales GX that we've had for a little while. I am referring to the fairy type Alolan Ninetales GX, which is going to be coming out in Lost Thunder. And I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I've not been a fan. I've not thought this was a particularly good card. I've not thought it was particularly great. I am being proven wrong. I am being proven very wrong, because over in Japan at the moment, according to the lovely David Hockman over at limitlesstcg.com/tournaments, that's right, David's bringing us info and it ain't a translation. It's a translation of deck lists. Alolan Ninetales is awesome. You see, Tetsuya Kajita just went and got 7th place in a 1,200 person tournament, slightly more than that, with Alolan Ninetales Buzzwole. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Alolan Ninetales Buzzwole is evidently a good deck. Now, in terms of Buzzwole, it's very much like we've seen before. There are 2 Buzzwole, they are both exceptionally good. The GX for a single energy does 30 to the active, 30 to the bench. Or you can put free energy on there and do 160, but then not be able to attack next turn. Or do 40 damage for each prize card remaining. And then the non-GX, or Baby Buzzwole Haynick, has got a brilliant attack for 1 fighting energy, does 30 damage to the active, nothing to the bench, so it's not quite as good as the other Buzzwole, but then again it's a single prize Pokemon. But if your opponent's got exactly 4 prizes remaining, you do 120 for 1 energy, which is great. And don't sleep on swing around, free energy, 80 damage, plus 20 for each heads you can flip from 2 coins. But of course, Buzzwole has extra tricks. Diancie Prism Star means you do an extra 20 damage. Beast Energy means that you do an extra 30 damage while being any energy, but it's going to be fighting energy. And Beast Ring, if your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining, allows you to search your deck for 2 basic energy and attach them to one of your Ultra Beasts. Buzzwole is good. We've looked at Buzzwole a lot, and the Buzzwole portion of this does what the Buzzwole portion of any Buzzwole deck has done. That's not particularly new. What is new here is Alolan Ninetales and all of the wonderful things that it can do. So Alolan Ninetales, one of the huge selling points here is the ability. Now, our translations, of course, also come from the lovely David Hockman, but this time limitlesstcg.com/translations. And the ability says that when you evolve up into Alolan Ninetales, you may search your deck for 2 item cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Yeah. This takes Buzzwole, which is a good card, and makes it ridiculously over-the-top great. Now, don't get me wrong, we can still attack with Alolan Ninetales. We'll get to that in a moment. But this isn't an Alolan Ninetales attacking deck. This is Alolan Ninetales used for the ability. And ladies and gentlemen, this ability is phenomenal. Now, there's many different things that you can do with this ability, but 2 of them stand out above and beyond the others. First of all, you know that Beast Ring I just told you about? Yeah. You evolve up, and you've got Beast Ring. Straight away, no questions asked. If your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining, there's none of this, ooh, gee whiz, I hope I draw a Beast Ring. No. You evolve up into Alolan Ninetales, and you just pull 2 Beast Ring out of your deck. That is ridiculous. That is an extra 4 energy. Every time you can grab a Beast Ring, you play it, and either Buzzwole GX or Baby Buzz Haynick gets 2 energy, which means they're 1 energy away from being used, which means they essentially turn into single energy attackers. That's ridiculous. And if your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining, you evolve into Alolan Ninetales, and that happens for 2 of your Buzzwole. It is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Utterly over the top ridiculous. But there's actually another item card here, which also makes it over the top broken. It's Custom Catcher. Now, Custom Catcher is going to be coming in Lost Thunder along with all these unreleased cards like Alolan Ninetales, and it is one of these cards where you may play two at once. If you play one, draw cards until you got 3 cards in hand, i.e. it's Oranguru ability. It's not bad, it's actually a decent effect here, especially if you've got no cards in hand. And if you've got no cards in hand, and you top deck an Alolan Ninetales, you can actually draw this to get you 3 more cards. That's pretty sweet. But if you play 2 at once, it's an old school Pokemon catcher, which is before it had the errata with the coin flip. You just get to pull one of your opponent's Pokemon into the active. It's a Guzma, but you don't get to switch, but it's not a supporter. And the problem is that most decks aren't able to guarantee that they can play 2 of these at once. But Alolan Ninetales is able to guarantee that. It's ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. It basically guarantees that you can search for both of these and you get a Pokemon catcher whenever you feel like it. And that's how Alolan Ninetales makes Buzzwole amazing. Search for B-String when you can play them. Search for Custom Catcher to have Gusting whenever you want without playing a supporter. Those are the 2 new things it does. Now, in terms of other Pokemon here, there's not much. You got Tapu Lele and Oranguru. What more do you need? What more do you need? Oranguru draws you cards, Tapu Lele gets you supporter cards. They've been used for a long time. They're great. We play the Alolan Vulpix from Guardians Rising. It's got Beacon, which means you can search out Pokemon for 0 energy. I mean, ideally, if you can attack, you want to be attacking with Buzzwole, but if you're stuck, this will help. And don't forget that Brooklet Hill will search out either your Alolan Vulpix or your Buzzwole, given that they are basic fighting and water Pokemon, so that's pretty ridiculous as well. And whereas outside of Japan, we are really going towards a non-GX Buzzwole with 1 or 2 GX format, in Japan, this is 4 GX, 2 of the non-GX. Because when you can use B-String really consistently, and you can use Custom Catcher whenever you feel like, the GX becomes better than the non-GX, to be blunt. In terms of energy, yes, we've got mostly fighting energy. We need it for B-String. Yes, we've got Beast Energy Prism Star because it's ridiculous. But actually, there is a unit energy, one of the 3, which is for Fairy, Darkness, and Fighting. Now, the Darkness can do one, we don't care, but this means that you can use it as a fighting energy, so you can attack with Buzzwole, while also being a Fairy energy. Yeah, you know how I said we could attack with Alolan Ninetales? Now, Alolan Ninetales' attacks are fine. The main attack here, 70 damage plus 30 to one of your opponent's bench. I mean, look, it's fine. And if you combine it with a Choice Band, if you're hitting for weakness against something like a Rayquaza, you'll get a 1-hit KO, and that's awesome. But really here, it's for the GX attack. Because you see, the GX attack reads, if your opponent's active Pokemon is an Ultra Beast, it's knocked out. Great against other Buzzwole decks. Great against Blacephalon, which, as we saw the other day, is seeing a lot of play and a lot of success in Japan. So that's really good. You don't want to use the Alolan Ninetales as an attacker much. It really is in there for the ability, but it's good if you're hitting for weakness. It's decent spread damage, and you know what? In the right deck, this GX attack is nuts. If you're not playing against an Ultra Beast, don't use a GX attack, but if you are, it is wonderful. Now, in terms of the trainer cards here, we've already talked about Custom Catcher, B-String, and Brooklet Hill. Most of the other stuff is very standard, but there are a couple of weird things in here. Firstly, we have Lusamine Prism Star. Lusamine Prism Star is a Prism Star supporter. It's a very good one. And it says that if your opponent has exactly freeze cards remaining, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from your opponent's Pokemon's attacks done to your Ultra Beasts, like Buzzwole. Weirdly, this was not seeing play in Blacephalon decks. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't find room. Maybe they never ended up needing it. Clearly looks good in Ultra Beast decks. It's a Prism Star. It's once per game, but you know what? Works in here. And as we're playing a bunch of Prism Stars here, Beast Energy and Diancie and Lusamine, we might as well play Lizia. Great little supporter that lets you search for 2 of your Prism Star cards. In the early game, search for a Beast Energy and a Diancie Prism Star so that you can do an extra 50 damage. That sounds pretty nice to me. And then everything else is pretty much as we would expect for Cynthia, because it's the best draw supporter in the format. Couple of Guzma, you can't rely on Custom Catcher, Guzma's still amazing. Couple of Judge slows down your opponent, and remember, if you're using something like Alolan Ninetales, you're probably more consistent, so Judge for a little bit of disruption is good. Plus, you're using single energy basic attackers here, so putting your opponent down to a 4-card hand, disrupting a bit, sounds like fun. 1 copy of Lily, just because turn 1, it's a great option. Draw until you got 8 cards in hand. 4 Ultra Ball, because it's the best Pokemon search we've got. It searches all of your Pokemon. Couple of Switch, because Floatstone has rotated, so you need to get your Pokemon out the active. This is a pretty good way to do so. And 4 Choice Band, because it means you do extra damage. Extra damage is good. You can see the list on the screen. It's a fun list. It's a good list. It is a Buzzwole deck. It is an aggro Buzzwole deck. Yeah, you're playing Unit Energy. Yeah, you can attack with Alolan Ninetales. Yeah, against Rayquaza decks or Ultra Beast decks, it will be a good attacker. But really here, it's for the ability. When you can reliably use B-String or Custom Catcher, it just gets so much better. It's good. So essentially, not only is Buzzwole still going to be around post-rotation, but Buzzwole's going to be amazing. I saw a bunch of people saying, "Oh, come on, Wassy. It's not going to be that good post-rotation because it's losing strong energy." Okay. I never really bought that argument. It still seemed like a great deck even without strong energy. But now that Alolan Ninetales is making it even more busted than before, please do not be surprised if you see a ridiculous amount of Buzzwole at tournaments in future, because Buzzwole's not going anywhere. If anything, Buzzwole might be better than it's been. Yeah. But I want to know what you think about Buzzwole, so let me know in the comments section. Go nuts, be nice, you know the deal. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.